front row. Right, a number of you will remember our next speaker from the rally we had a few Saturdays ago. He was the organiser and a fabulous man for getting so many people here that day. Please welcome Wayne Hawker.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome to today's gathering as we continue our efforts to seek answers from Hekia and the Ministry and to try and make sense of what has been proposed. As we are all aware of the proposals for education reform in Canterbury, the reality is, if we allow this to happen in Christchurch, it will over time be rolled out on unsuspecting schools and communities around New Zealand. They should be worried. Even the latest data released by the Ministry has serious fundamental errors and simply cannot be trusted as accurate enough to warrant the current proposals to even be considered. Ms Parata is in Christchurch at the moment to, as she says, listen to the schools. And if she is really listening, she will soon realise her ministry has got this whole process completely wrong. The Ministry of Education released a booklet recently called Analysis of Submissions for Directions of Education Renewal in Greater Christchurch. And having read through this booklet, which I believe was a primary source for the decisions around the proposals, one must wonder if they even bothered to read it in detail, or was their agenda already set. In the summary, it states that the submissions called for continued community engagement during the long journal of renewal. So the question is, if this is a long journal of renewal, then why is there such a rush to have all affected schools to finish consultation with their communities and report it back to the Ministry by December this year? Why during the Minister's direct meetings with schools do they have but 1 hour to plead their case? I was at Phillipstown today where we had 1 hour. It was not enough.
No, she's a liar!
What I'm hearing is schools have so many questions to ask the Ministry that they need answers for before they can even think about talking with their communities. This shows boards want to be truly effective during this process, and surely as Minister Hekia Parata should be commending them on this and allowing for the extra time to happen to ensure everyone has a fair opportunity to gather factual information before responding, because we know the Ministry's information is not factual. I'd like to make reference to a specific but very relevant item within this report, Proposal 3.1, which is to plan educational provisions as a network of community shared campuses and facilities. And that led to the following question relating to this proposal. How important is it to plan for fewer but larger schools, but where learners may get a richer experience, even if it means that children may have to travel further? For me, this is very much a veiled attempt to say close and merge schools. This was the single most responded to question with over 840 responses. From these responses, there were only 56 who actually agreed with this question, which is just 6.64% of all respondents. Yet from all the questions asked, this is the one that the Ministry has ignored, what 93.34% of all the respondents submitted. Two of the respondents in their submissions wrote, and I will quote, "I would argue that many of the children in Canterbury are very unsettled physically, emotionally, and need to be in a smaller school environment close to where they live while knowing and feeling safe in their community." The second submission said, "Being able to send your child to albeit a smaller school is very desirable and healthy thing for a small community to grow around. The school can be the lifeblood of that community." This is so true for so many communities and was highlighted by a number of speakers who addressed Hekia Parata when she visited us at Phillipstown School this morning. And if we were to lose this school, then we may as well lose our identity as a community. Nobody has the right to take that away from any of us. Over recent years, different governments have made changes in education that has seen a steady progression of mainstream schooling for many students identified as special needs. And while the schools have embraced these students, where a high number of them have slotted in well, if these proposals go ahead, it should be noted that the ministry could be seen to breach in its own legislation. Special needs students are entitled under the Act to enrol at their local school, and these proposals, as they eventuate, may deny these students this basic right. What this minister and ministry do not realise is they are not just dealing with land, buildings and student numbers, they are dealing with real kids, real families, real communities, all of whom have a face, a heart and feelings. And there is no way this can be reflected in a report simply by numbers written on a piece of paper while sitting at a desk in Wellington. For us, this is real, and the stress and emotional strain being put on us, so many in Canterbury, from this on top of what we've already been through over the past few years, well, all I can say is shame on you, Hagley Park, shame on you, Leslie Longstone, and shame on the national government and their coalition partners. For all of us here today, we owe it to each and every child in Canterbury to stop what is happening. We owe it to our forefathers who helped pave the way for this country, including thousands who died for what they believed was right. And equally important, we owe it to the future generations of all New Zealanders and migrants who want to have New Zealand as their home. Thank you very much. Kia kaha, Canterbury.
I'm sure you'll all agree that that man is a symbol of the passion for our schools and our communities that we all need to stand up and equal, because it's his voice that we need to be out there mirroring. We need to be out there speaking up for our communities as passionately as Wayne does for his. So please once again give him a round of applause.